Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamu alaikum. We are starting with the revision of exercise 5b, most probably question number 1 till 5. So let's start with the first question. The sum of a whole number and twice the square of the number is 10. First thing you need to know is a whole number. It means you don't know that number, so you can write it as your x. Sum means to add. Okay. After that, twice the square of the number. We'll come to that. Let's start with the beginning. The sum of a whole number. This means you are adding something with the whole number. So x plus and twice the square of the number. Twice means 2 times, right? The square of the number of the number was what of yours? The number was x, right? And square of this x, this means 2x square is 10 means is equals to 10. Okay, so let's start with it. The sum of a whole number and twice the square of the number is 10. Find the number. So now what we are going to do is we will shift this 10 to the other side. So 2x square plus x minus 10 is equals to 0. I am arranging this into a quadratic form. If you don't know what is a quadratic form, remember this: ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0. This means a number with x square or a variable square is going to come first, a number with one variable is going to come second, and a constant is going to come in the end. Okay, so let's start with the middle term breaking. 2 multiplied by 10 is of course 20, right? And if I look at the factors of 20, it's going to be 5 multiplied by 4, and if I subtract them out, I get my x, which means a 1, right? 5 minus 4 is going to be a 1. If you don't know middle term breaking, you can look at my other videos which I have already uploaded related to this. So writing the first number as it is, 2x square plus 5x minus 4x minus 10 is equals to 0. Okay, now from 2x square plus 5x I need to take a common, so x is the common. Other than that, we don't have any number common here, so x multiplied by 2x makes a 2x square plus x multiplied by 5 makes a 5x. Now coming towards this side, minus 4x minus 10, what is the table common? 2, right? And minus sign is also coming with both of them, so I'm going to take minus also common. Minus 2 multiplied by 2x makes a minus 4x, and minus plus makes a minus, so 2x plus 5 comes here as it is. Now x minus 2 and 2x plus 5 is equals to 0. So I'm going to solve both of these separately. So if I say x minus 2 is equals to 0, that means x is equals to 2. Agreed? For the second one, 2x plus 5 is equals to 0. So x is equals to minus 5 upon 2 is going to be your answer. I hope it's clear to you all. Let's move on to the second question. So the question is, if 4 times a whole number is subtracted from 3 times the square of the number, the result 15 is obtained. Find the number. Okay students, what one thing which I could recommend you over here is that your English needs to be really strong to understand these word problems, or else you can make a mistake. So let's start with question number 2. The question number 2 says, if 4 times a whole number, I told you all that what does a whole number means? That means an x. Agreed? I'm assuming that it's an x. 4 times means we are multiplying 4 with the x. So I know my one number is 4x. Agreed? Now this is subtracted from 3 times the square of the number. Of the number, what is your number here? X. And of means to multiply. 3 times means 3 multiplied it by square of the number. Square means 3x square. Okay, now there is a twist out there. Let's give you an example. If I say 6 is subtracted from 10, look, 6 is subtracted from 10. From 10 means that from this number 10 is going to be written first, and then I'm subtracting 6 from that. Agreed? So 6 is subtracted from 10. The same way over here they have told you, if 4 times a whole number is subtracted from 3 times the square of the number, this means your 3x square is going to come first in the question, then minus 4x. Okay, so this after from whatever is written, that has to be written first in this case. So let's start with it now properly. It's going to be 3x square minus 4x is equals to 15. The result is 15 means equals to 15. Okay, so now 3x square minus 4x minus 15 is equals to 0. Right? Now middle term breaking, 3 multiplied by 15 is what? 45. Agreed? So let's take out the factors of 45. Starting from your 3 ones are is 3 and 3 5s are is 15. 3 5s are is 15 once again, and here I'm having 5 ones are is 5. Now 3 3s are 9, and 9 multiplied by 5 is 45. Right? So I'm going to use two factors, 9 and 5. With the bigger number I will be putting a minus sign because here it's a minus. So 3x square minus 9x plus 5x minus 15 is equals to 0. Okay, now 3 is going to be taken common from 3 and 9 as well as your x. So 3x multiplied by x makes a 3x square. Minus sign comes as it is. 3 3s are is 9, bracket close. Now plus 5, again 5 multiplied by x is 5x, right? Minus sign comes as it is. 5 multiplied by 3 is your 15 is equals to 0. Okay, now 3x minus 5 and x minus 3 is equals to 0. So what do you get as your answer? 3x minus 5 is equals to 0. Writing both of them separately, x is equals to 3 here, and here it's going to be x is equals to 5 upon 3. I hope it's clear to you all. Moving on further, do like and subscribe my channel and press the bell icon, okay, if you're understanding it well. Now your question 3 says that there are two consecutive positive numbers. First you need to understand this thing. For example, if I say 1, so after 1 what is going to be the next consecutive number? 2. After 2 it's going to be 3. So we are adding 1 into each of them. 1 plus 1 is going to be your 2, right? And after 2, 2 plus 1 is going to be your 3. So one after the other. This is what consecutive means. Okay, so let's start with the question now. The question says two consecutive positive numbers, they are such that the sum of their squares is 113. The first number is going to be considered as your x. What is going to be your second number? Of course, x plus 1. Because after we add 1 to the first number, that's how we get our second consecutive number now, right? So I have got my first consecutive number and then the second one. Jumping on to the question, two consecutive positive numbers, got my first, got my second, they are such that the sum of their squares sum of their squares. This means you are individually doing them square and then adding them up. This is what the sum of their squares mean. So x square plus x plus 1 whole square is equals to 113. Okay, now x square plus, let's simplify this x plus 1 whole square into your which form, a plus b whole square, right, is equals to 113. Now x square, this x is your a, this one is going to be your b. So what was your identity? A square, which means your x square, plus 2 into x into 1 plus b square, which was your 1 whole square, is equals to 113. Now x square plus x square plus 2x plus 1 square means a 1, right, is equals to 113. Okay, now x square plus x square is 2x square, right, plus 2x plus 1. Now 113, when it goes to the other side, it becomes a minus, is equals to 0. So I am having the equation 2x square plus 2x minus 112 is equals to 0. Okay, let's erase it out to make it more clearer. 2x square plus 2x minus 112, we'll carry it forward. So it was 2x square plus 2x minus 112 is equals to 0. Okay, now here 2 into 112 is what of yours? It's 224. Agreed, right? So let's take out the common. 2 1s are 2 1s are 2 2s are 2 5s are is 10, 2 6s is 12, 2 2s is 4, 2 8s is 16, 2 1s is 2, 2 4s is 8, 2 7s is 14, 7 1s is 7. Okay, so let's find out how to make a 2. Okay, let's make the combinations. So 2 2s is 4 and 4 2s is 8 and 2 8s is 16 of yours, right, and 7 2s is 14. So 16 multiplied by 14 is also 224. Okay, so let's break it down further. 16 and 14, let's do the middle term breaking. So 2x square plus 16x minus 14x minus 112 is equals to 0. Okay, so 2 and x is going to be taken common from 2x square and 16x. So 2x multiplied by x is a 2x square plus 2x multiplied by 8 is 16x, right? Here minus is going to be taken as a common. Agreed. Other than that, what do we have? X minus plus makes a minus, and over here 14 into 8 is 112 is equals to 0. Okay, now let's keep it in a bracket form. 2x minus 14 and x plus 8 is equals to 0. So if I put these like this, x plus 8 is equals to 0, that means x is equals to minus 8, and here I am having 2x is equals to 14. So this means x is equals to 7 of yours. Okay, I hope it's clear to you all. Now students, you shall keep this thing in mind that it's a 2 consecutive positive numbers. Agreed. And the equation which I made was x and x plus 1. My first number was x, my second number was x plus 1. So I am going to ignore this x is equals to minus 8. My first number, positive 1, is x is equals to 7. So I will be taking this positive number. This means that is my first number, right? And For your second number, I will be substituting only this positive number, not the negative one. So 7 plus 1, that makes an 8. So my first number is 7 and second number is 8. Question says the difference between two positive numbers is 7. I don't know which numbers are they talking about, so I will be considering two positive as my x and y, and difference means to subtract them out, and I get my answer 7. Okay, and the square of their sum is 289. Now in the previous question we had sum of their square, but here we are having the square of their sum. This means once I add those two numbers up and then do the square of it, so I get my answer 289. Okay, so now there are two methods to solve it. One by one, let's check it out. I can simplify this second equation, right? X plus y square is equals to 289. So I can write it as, if I cut the square and put a root on the other side, I get x plus y is equals to 17, because 17 square is 289. Now I'm having, in place of this equation, I can use this, right? And the first equation was x minus y is equals to 7. Now plus y and minus y, when I cancel it, here I get a 0, agreed, and x plus x makes a 2x. Now 17 plus 7 makes a 24, and x is equals to 12, right? Now I will be substituting this value of x is equals to 12 here in the question. X minus y is equals to what? 7. Now 12 minus y is equals to 7, and here I get my answer. 12 minus 7 is equals to y, and then 5 is equals to y. Now students, one thing to be considered. X is 12 and here I get my answer 5. So are these two positive numbers? Yes, they are. So our answer is correct. Okay, but there is another method as well. Let's do that also. It was said to us that the square of their sum is 289, right? So x plus y whole square is equals to 289. Students, please make sure that you are looking at this English correctly. English of the question matters a lot. The square of their sum and the sum of their square are different from each other. The square of their sum means x plus y whole square, and the sum of their square means x square plus y square. Keep that in mind. Okay, so now in this case I'm having x plus y whole square is equals to 289. Now this is my first equation, this is my second equation, this is the second method which I am doing for you all. So I can use my first equation, I can make any of it as a subject. Here I am making my x as a subject, so x is equals to 7 plus y. Okay, now I can use this 7 plus y and substitute this in the place of your x, right? So 7 plus y again is equals to 289. Now 7 plus y means 7 plus y means a 2y is equals to 289. You need to keep this in mind that there is a square also. So let's expand it up. Now how can I expand it? Through my identity, which was a plus b whole square, which said a square plus 2ab plus b square. What was your a? 7. B was 2y. So let's expand it up first. 7 square plus 2 into 7 into 2y plus 2y whole square. So 7 sevens are 49. Now 2 into 7 is 14, and 14 into 2 is going to be your 28. 28y plus 4y square when you do the square of 2y. Okay, so you are getting 4y square plus 28y plus 49. Let's rub it out and write it clearly for us. I'm rubbing the first two also. for my understanding. Now it was written here 49 plus 28y plus 4y square is equals to 289. Okay, let's simplify it further, writing it in the form of your ax square plus bx plus c. So 4y square first, then my 28y, then I am having 49. I will be putting this 289 to the other side of the equation. Minus 289 is equals to 0. Okay, now 49 minus 289 of yours is your 240. So 4y square plus 28y minus 240 is equals to 0. As these numbers are big, I'll try to take out the common first. So 4, taking as my common, y square, 4 7s are 28, right? Okay, for 7s that is 28y, and for 6 that is 24, for 0s that is 0. Now this 4 is going to be ignored because when it goes to the other side of the equation, this means 4 is being multiplied with the y square, right? When it goes down, it becomes 0 divided by 4, right? So that answer becomes automatically a 0. So we will be ignoring the 4 out now throughout. So okay, now y square plus 7y minus 60 is your equation. Okay, so what we are going to do is we will be finding out the factors of 60. What could it be? 2 into 30, 3 into 10, okay, 2 into 5, and 5 1s are is 5. So 3 2s are is 6, 2 6 are is 12, and 12 minus 5 is your what? 7, and 12 multiplied by 5 is 60 as well. So you will take 12 and 5 as your factors. Start with the middle term breaking. Y square plus 12y minus 5y minus 60 is equals to 0. So y into y plus 12, here minus 5 into y plus 12 is equals to 0. Okay, now y minus 5 is equals to 0 and y plus 12 is equals to 0. So I have got my value. Y is equals to minus 12 and y is equals to 5. Now here you need to keep this in mind that I have got one positive number and one negative number, right? So what I will be doing here is y is equals to 5, I'll take that out. X is equals to 7 plus y, right? So 7 plus 5, it becomes your 12, right? Keep this in mind. You will be taking the positive number and then you will substitute that in the original question equation, okay, so that you get the other positive number of yours. Do not take your negative number. Moving on towards your question number 5. The difference between two positive numbers, the difference between two numbers is 9 and the product of the numbers is 162. Find the two numbers. Okay, so now here in the question we are having the difference between two numbers is 9. It's kind of very obvious. Difference means minus, right? Up till now you must have understood this thing. So two numbers, do I know those two numbers? No. Let's consider it as your x and a y. So x minus y It's 9, right? And the product of the numbers, product always means a multiply sign. So of the numbers means the two numbers which you assume that was your x and your y. So product means x multiplied by y means a x into y, xy is equals to 162. Now find the two numbers. How can we find that out? Let's do the substitution method here. This was your first equation. Let's make a subject out. For example, x is equals to 9 plus y. Now I will be substituting this 9 plus y into your second equation. So 9 plus y in the place of x multiplied by y is equals to 162. Substituting in the second one. Okay. Now y will be multiplied with 9 and y will be multiplied with the y as well. So it becomes a 9y plus y square is equals to your 162. That becomes y square plus 9y is equals to 162. Now let's take this 162 to the other side. It becomes y square plus 9y minus 162 is equals to 0. Okay. Let's take out the LCM. I am clearing all of it out. Y square plus 9y minus 162 is equals to 0. Let's take out the LCM of 162. 2 multiplied by 8 is 16. 2 1s is 2. 3 multiplied by 2 is 6. 3 7s is 21. 3 9s is 27. 3 3s is 9 and 3 1s is 3. Okay. Now I need to make up my 9. So let's look at the factors of 162, which add or subtract to make a 9. 3 2s are 6 and 3 6s is 18, right? And 3 3s is 9, and 18 into 9 is your 162, as well as when we subtract 18 and 9 I get my answer 9y. So y square plus, it's going to be your 18y minus 9y minus 162 is equals to 0. Let's clean this mess up. Let's take out the common now. Y into y makes a y square. So y into 18 makes an 18y, minus 9 comes here, and y minus plus makes a minus into 18 once again is equals to 0. Now y minus 9 and y plus 18 is equals to 0. So here y plus 18 is equals to 0, which makes up a y is equals to minus 18. And here it was y minus 9 is equals to 0, so it becomes a y is equals to 9. Now remember, the difference between two positive numbers is 9. This was our question. X minus y is equals to 9 was there, and I made this equation as x is equals to 9 plus y. Agreed? So this 9 and minus 18, I will be selecting my 9 and substituting that in the question equation which I made. So x is equals to 9 plus 9, that makes a 18. So 9 and 18 are going to be your final answers. Okay, remember, for suppose you did not make x as your subject, you made y as your subject, which means that you took your equation like this. That was x minus y is equals to 9 was your first equation, and you made your subject like this. X plus 9 is equals to y, and then you are substituting xy is equals to 162, and you are substituting in the place of y x plus 9 is equals to 162. Students, even if you are doing this, that is also the correct method. However, you need to keep this thing in mind. If you are getting your answer one negative and the other, for example, positive, okay, so you will be substituting that in place of your original equation, that is your question equation, and then you will find out both the answers. Trust me, your answers are going to become same. Let me solve it for you then. Let me solve it as an example. I think you will not understand it like this. Okay, for suppose x minus y is equals to 9 was there, and the product of the numbers is x into y, which is 162. Here you made out your subject through this, that was x plus 9 is x minus 9 is equals to x minus y is equals to 9, and x minus 9 is equals to y. Okay, and now in the place of your y you are substituting x minus 9, so the equation becomes x into x minus 9 is equals to 162 of yours. Now x square minus 9x minus 162 is equals to 0. Agreed. Now x square, which factors did I take? 18 and 9, right? So x square minus 18x plus 9x minus 162 is equals to 0, and x into x minus 18, here it's going to be an x 9x minus 18 is equals to 0, and then I get x is equals to 18. I'm doing a shortcut here, and x is equals to minus 9. So you will be taking the value of your x as your 18. Do not panic if you see this minus 9. Okay, once you have got this x is equals to 18 positive one, substitute that in the question equation. That was your x minus 9 is equals to y. X minus 9 is equals to y, which makes the 18 minus 9 is equals to y. 18 minus 9 is what? 9 is equals to y, right? So you get your answer 9 and 18. Fine. So take the positive number and then substitute it out. I hope you all have understood this concept, and make sure to like and subscribe the channel. Best of luck for your assessment or your exam.